But this, to me, this is, I can still remember the first time judo really helped me. And it was many years later. I'd started secondary school and some kid picked on me. And just out of thinking about it, I threw him over my shoulder. I managed to kind of half hip, half shoulder throw him because he was clumsy, taller than me, leaned right in just to grab her, to show me that he was the bigger guy. He was a couple of years older than me, and he went in like that. And of course, I was just there was that I couldn't do it now because I haven't done it for years, But it was just like straight away. My hip, my feet, everything just moved, and he just went straight over the top with me still holding on to his hand and keeping him in a wrist lock. And it was just like, "Do you really want to do this, mate?"
And you got the hip on, one by hip on.
Yeah, effectively, and it's this strange thing that happens when you know you can do that. And
whenever like you train like a beginner, or even like probably in any martial art or discipline, if you like also like newer guys think, oh, I'm not getting any better, blah blah blah. I would just wait till like a newer person comes in and you'll feel it that you are how like sort of like vulnerable people are really to say someone who has done a little bit of training in their life and who's still consistent with it, how sort of fragile people are. Like literally by moving someone's head that way, like people think that they're super strong, but if your head's out of line, your strength goes.
This is it. People people do not understand just how, like, one of the favorite things in judo when you were standing up was just to shift someone's foot because they just weren't paying, and that foot makes you step to one side, and I can just push you on the floor. But while I'm pushing you over, I can keep hold of your lead arm or the arm closest to me, and just keep hold of your hand and your wrist. And now you're on the floor, and I've got hold of your hand up here. And it's like any way you move, I'll just bend your hand the other way, or I'll twist it. And it's, I mean, like I said, there was there's a skill to it, but it's not just. I don't now like now. I'm so out of practice and so clumsy. I'm more likely if I try to move your front foot, I'm more likely to roll my own ankle and fall over on my own.
Yeah, yeah. It is. I think any martial art, it's a thing. People think there's obviously not everyone thinks that. Like all fighters or martial artists, they're all brain dead. They're not. You've got to think.
Yeah,
you have to think. It's a very clever process, I think, especially grappling, because there's a lot of literally a lot of moving parts going on. You have to think. Like literally, that's why sometimes I'll concentrate. My head's like fried.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm going against someone who's a lot more skilled than me. They're just outthinking me. So sometimes I'm mentally fatigued as well. I know what they're doing, but they're just that far ahead. Like my brain can't keep up, and then my body then slows down against them. But then when you do it like to someone who's not as good as you, they're mentally and physically drained as well.
I remember because like judo, especially, and wrestling is the same. It's a chess game. But I remember the first time I like. It's funny because I'm talking to you, and all these memories are coming back of times I've grappled and sparred, and you're talking memories from 40 years ago, and I can remember the first time somebody just you're grappling with somebody, they just pulled on one side, and they just keep that tension there, and tension there, and tension there, and you're like, oh. But then 3 or 4 minutes in, you're starting to get really tired. And you never realised their whole game plan was just to make you tired.
Yep.
And so you never counted that one move, or the classic one where somebody pulls or pushes and keeps doing it, keeps doing it, and keeps doing it. And you start to anticipate them doing it, and they don't.
They change it up, then foot sweep you.
Yeah. And you're just like, I've just been played. God. And like you say, there's people that are at levels that they're 5, 6 moves ahead or 2 minutes ahead of where you are. You think, right, you start to grapple and you're like, it's like playing, like I said, it's like playing chess. You get into a game with someone, and if they're really good, they've already decided their first 15 moves, and you're still thinking, right, where do I put that pawn? Okay, there. It's like they don't even care what you're trying to do.
or they're that well trained, they're literally their subconscious, they're just in autopilot, and they're just going boom, 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 and then they're not thinking, then so they're not getting tired. The body's not getting tired neither.
Yeah. And they're not even wondering what you're trying to do.
No, they don't care.
No,
Do not care. Don't care.
that's the most humiliating thing. You get this, and I've got this in boxing as well. Is I remember sparring with this kid. I would have been crikey, I would have been about 40, and I was sparring with this kid, and he was about 18, and he lighter than me, smaller than me, and he boxed at British level, national level, and he, God bless him to this day, because he never took advantage of me.
Mm.
But it was blatantly obvious. It didn't matter to him what I did.
It's like you were in slow motion and he wasn't.
Yeah. It was like it was at the end of the Matrix, the first one, when Neo's just like, oh right, yeah, okay, and it's just I move forward, and I don't think I even laid a punch on him, and he just like literally gently just jab and tap me, just for his own amusement. That's what I'm saying. He never took any advantage of me. He's just like he understood levels. He needed sparring. I had to spar as well, and it's just like there's no point giving an old man a hiding. There's nothing in it for me, and he just practiced what he wanted to practice without actually banging me out. And
that's good.
Yeah, he was a top quality guy. He was a really nice guy like it. But it was just so amusing for me because it's so tiring just throwing into thin air and stepping towards somebody, and because like people have said, you step in and throw, and when they're really good, that's when they move. People at my level will always try and stay out of range, or always try and stay too close, because I don't have the skill set of the agility to anticipate more than that. But when they're really good, they're just moving, like you said, just a slight head movement, and they're not there anymore.
It's like they glide. It's like the ice. I've compared it like that. They're just ice. They just glide and just glides. Literally, you see them glide around. It's effortless.
It is
effortless.
And you're just like this clumsy hippo, just bouncing around, sort of, trying your best to look graceful.
Like still thinking, like I'm 21 in the head, but the body's just falls to bits.
That's exactly what happens. Is that they're just you like you say, your head is just like, oh yeah, I can do this, and your body's just like, okay,
mate. Not today, mate.
Yeah,
not today, lad.
Yeah, we'll let you get through the ropes, but you're going to learn rapidly. There's a difference between being able to do the burpees and the press ups and actually sparring.
Yeah, there's levels to this game, man.